the Barons of flipping those objectives.
And with the Poppy locked in the jungle, that will make 8 different champions in 8 separate games here in the jungle for Blabber so far at MSI 2023, showing off the depth of the champ pool, but we're gonna need to see Cloud9 execute cool and clean against Gen G if they wanna stand a chance against them. The North American squad, the desk was talking about it, they have struggled to find any wins internationally in a best of 5 since 2018, and now they're going up against number 1 from Korea.
I mean, for Cloud9, they have a really good setup. The draft for themselves is like, it's going to be difficult for Chovy to bully you in lane in this matchup. When you have 2 tanks in the top lane, it should be a pretty neutral matchup. The bot lane is where it's going to be the most volatile, and we know how aggressive Delight and Pays can be. So all eyes on bot. How can junglers impact it, and who can get the early edge?
And Gen G, they have invested in these volatile hook champions. So we're going to see them follow that game plan, look for the kills with the Blitz, with the Nautilus, and see if they can get that gold.
We're on to Summoner's Rift for the first time today. Gen G versus Cloud9. Number 1 from Korea versus number 1 from North America. Winner moves on to play BLG. Loser watches the rest of the tournament from home. And Cloud9 is grouped up as 5 from an early invade. They will be seen by the ward, but they'll find it and sweep it away.
Okay, so what is C9 now going to use this for? Are they going to split the map and do the Scion tech? We've seen it multiple times at this tournament, and I think it does make a lot of sense. We were already talking about how Pays and Delight want to have a little bit more volatility in this bot side of the map, and by creating this split map, I think it just isolates Peanut away and allows them to threaten the dive, but it looks like for now they're not going to do it. They haven't even dropped any... They have dropped a little bit of vision.
So you're doing the mind game here, because like I was talking about for Cloud9, they're trying to follow this template from T1. Hey, they're red side. Hey, they have Scion. You expect them to continue with that full bottom side clear and split the map. However, they go for the recall here because they know Gen G will be expecting this. Everybody now is so ready for these Scion starts where they're splitting the map, and Fudge actually is just going to help leash their own red side instead of the Gen G red side.
Smart play by Chovy. You'll notice that ward that he dropped just by the Raptors. This should give him information as to where Blabber is, and then Peanut can adjust his path accordingly. By starting on the blue, he has the freedom to potentially make that split map. Is already an all-in from the C9 bot lane.
Pays at 250 HP, pull from Delight, bringing Berserker even closer, but it's Gen G with more critical health bars as both marksmen are taken below 200 health.
And now because Cloud9 did not do the Scion bottom side red quadrant start here, they do not have the safety of knowing that Kha'Zix is split to the other side of the map. So with the early aggression here, they want to try and bounce this wave before Kha'Zix gets down here. But it looks like Gen G pushing out on the wave. They get their level 2 first.
Delight's gonna look for this here. Fires off the rocket grab of Berserker with a sidestep.
That's a critical dodge right there on the level 2 versus level 1 power spike. And Sven is happy about it.
The level 2 now comes through from the C9 bot lane. More information gained from Gen G. They realize that the top side has been cleared from Blabber, and now Peanut will run face-to-face with the Cloud9 jungler. With the push that Berserker and Sven have, Peanut has to be respectful at the possibility of that red being contested, but Blabber is looking for even more.
Blabber showing up there, forcing the jump out of the Kha'Zix. Otherwise, the wallbang would have been in range. Blabber could have taken a chunk out of Peanut's health bar. They'll fight each other over the large Krug. It's Peanut with the smite secure to guarantee that he gets that one. And Blabber has to walk out with the bottom lane of Gen G making their way back into the area.
Yeah, nice timing here for Cloud9, for Blabber. He comes down, he screens for the bottom lane because they force the Gen G bottom laners out after that trade. He knows pre-boots 1, it's about 30 seconds to walk back down to bottom side. So 25, 24 seconds or so ahead of time, he leaves the Krugs, doesn't want to stick around to fight over the last 2 little mini ones, gets out of there before the Gen G bottom lane gets back to lane.
A lot of time spent though from Blabber. He will now secure the blue buff. Delight looking for a bit of a cheeky sneak. Will not be able to connect, but Peanut now pretty healthy advantage in terms of the jungle camps, and now that they have information as to where Blabber is, if Peanut wanted to, he could cross map and go secure himself the other crab. The pings are coming down. He was like, hey Chovy, do you have any information? Is Chovy actually looking for a dive here maybe?
Yeah, Fudge at half HP and not a lot of mana to work with. Doran also almost We'll see if Gen G really wants to execute on this. Jovi's gonna lead the way, finds the initial route. Fudge down to 100 health. One more hit'll do it. It's first blood, a 1-for-1. Fudge gets Jovi back with the health of the turret.
Honestly, versus a Scion, that is not worth it for Gen G. Fudge gets the counter kill, and Zombie Scion's able to get a couple of the CS there, then teleport right back.
A big commitment there from Jovi, and this does allow M&S to just push in that wave, get a free base. He's not going to commit the teleport because he doesn't need to. And this also gives some safety to Blabber to hover around the bot side. He ideally now needs to reset, clear out those top camps. There's a big stacking wave here, and I think the C9 do need to consider trying to threaten something on this bot side of the map in the upcoming few minutes. But as I said, Blabber going back to base for now, looking to clear out that top side.
Yeah, so there's a slow push being generated on the bottom side here for Cloud9. Blabber looking to try and get at least Raptors taken care of before he heads on down there. Chovy with the deep ward, though. Already you can see the vision line for Gen G is encroaching in Cloud9 territory. Thank you, observers, for the preemptive ward on those Raptors that Blabber's going right for, plus the Chovy one that just got dealt.
All right, things are still dead even here with only that trade of kills up in the top side, 5 minutes in. Remember that traditionally Cloud9 in the LCS in this past spring split have not been a team that builds up a lot of leads very early in the laning phase. Usually it's after the plates fall, after laning ends. And so as they continue forward here for the next 10 minutes, 9 minutes or something like that, they want to try to keep things even, bar for bar, here with Gen G. Chovy level 6 now on the Nautilus, especially with a high damage jungler like this Kha'Zix for Peanut. This is very dangerous whenever M&S is away from his turret, and Cloud9 is going to have to make sure that they're doing their due diligence, avoiding the potential gank threat there.
And because Blabber is spending a lot of time, going to try and supplement these lanes on their pushed out waves, he's a little bit behind Peanut here as far as the camps go. Kha'Zix slightly ahead, especially with the early lethality, and him ending on bottom side here for Krugs for Peanut with a control ward in the tri-brush. Delight gonna possibly look for something.
Berserker, another good sidestep there, making sure he doesn't get tagged by the zap, but it will be a 3v3 down here. Blabber only level 4 compared to the level 5 of Peanut is a market disadvantage for C9. Delight gonna see if he can find a rocket grab. It's been pulled in, the damage finding its way onto the Cloud9 support, but he stays alive! Berserker's got pays! Berserker's got paid! Delight gets the kill back on Sven to make it a 1-for-1, and the game stays even.
Ooh, another 1-for-1 play initiated by Gen G. Delight does hit the hook on Sven. By the way, Delight, under a previous name, Crescent, was a partner for Berserker originally when they were T1 trainees coming up together, and in the end, it is a trade. Both their new lane partners taken down.
Fudge maybe in a bit of danger here as Chovy has made his way over. Peanut on his way as well. Fudge's ultimate will connect onto Doran. The flash comes out, but he has tower aggro as well.
Oh, Fudge, the flash there. A little unfortunate. He is going to at least grab the turret plate on his way out thanks to the Demolish proc, but he's down, and that's Gen G, +1 on kills.
Yeah, nicely done by Doran. He gets in front of the ultimate.
Okay, pulled from Delight, but Blabber's coming over the wall. He will not connect into the wall for the slam on the Blitzcrank. So now Sven and Blabber have to walk this one away as Berserker continues shoving up the wave.
But Fudge watched the boss's little informative video because as he's dying, he goes right for the turret plate, and he at least got the Demolish proc. Here's another look at it. Delight hits Sven with the hook into the Flame Chompers. Nicely placed there by Pays, but him flashing afterwards. Look at the no hesitation from Blabber and Berserker. They flash right on Pays, so it is a support for AD carry trade, and that allowed Berserker to get the extra push in, and you see CS on bottom side in Cloud9's favor.
Sven just bought a lot of time, and that made it so much easier for Berserker and Blabber to focus down Pays. The focus for Gen G this game definitely feels a lot on Fudge, and they're looking for another play.
Yes, sir. Fudge found out here. The engage from the Ornn, the damage from the Kha'Zix. No prayer for the Scion, and Fudge falls for the 3rd time in game 1.
I mean, it is unfortunate for Fudge, like the last error that he made, a little bit of an unnecessary one, but the reality is the bot side of the map is still gaining all these advantages for C9, so it's not the end of the world as Blabber and Peanut go face to face once more.
And the real reward here would be the Rift Herald. Herald.
Now hold on, Blabber just immediately being engaged on there by Delight, but the counterattack from C9 might be enough. Super Mega Death Rocket gonna take the Poppy down to 100 HP, and Chovy secures the kill. The downtown damage from Pays guarantees Gen G come out on top.
As you rightly said, Flowers, the involvement of Pays' ultimate is really what swung in favor of Gen G. The hook connects.
Oh, Sven, what are you doing there? Peanut just got himself a whole nother kill for free. 2-0 and 2 on the Kazakhs. Delight is dialing in on the rocket grabs, and Gen G gets the Herald.
When it rains, it pours, gentlemen. It starts with a pick on the top laner. That's domino effect. Transitions into Rift Herald start. They get pick after pick, even though they chunk Peanut very low here. The extra kill onto Blabber. Let's take a look at it. He gets a nice little chunk here onto Peanut. They get him to 50%, but he's got to get out of there because they have no top laner. Teleport now coming back for Fudge, but Delight is already here with the flash knock-up into Hook. And since they've got the double Hook champions, Chovy's able to get him in range. Big ulti from Jinx comes through. Blabber was trying to get the positioning here on the charge onto that little wall. Couldn't quite get it onto Chovy though, and then he's low enough to die.
It was definitely a winnable skirmish for C9, and if it wasn't for Pays' rocket connecting, I really think that there was a world where they could have converted that into a kill. But it is how things played out in favor of Gen G. They're going to secure themselves a plate. They got themselves the Herald as well. And things are definitely looking good for Gen G as they quickly convert this into a dragon. And what seemed very promising for C9 in the early game, the fact that Berserker was in, and still is in, a very commanding position. You look at this Kazakhs, who has now 1,000 gold lead over Blabber. The fact that they have all these early objectives, Gen G definitely finding the early game advantages that they were looking for.
Yeah, those objectives will snowball you pretty quickly. And here goes Delight again.
Yes, good job stepping back to avoid the rocket grab. If he gets pulled in there, it is trouble. Gen G not going to be able to secure another pick for themselves, but still enjoying a 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and even if he blows the flash there, it would be super successful Hook. But MNS, he remains cool. He doesn't blow his flash, relies on his dodging skills, is able to dodge out on it. Cloud9 need to slow it down now because Gen G, you really can snowball. Once you get Rift Herald plus First Dragon, there's no response really for your opponents on the map. And with the Kazakhs being so fed now, it's very problematic since you get Umbral Glaive rushed and the vision starts to just wither away on the map for you. Now Peanut here, level 8 on the Kazakhs, gets to cruise around, chopping down all of your vision, making every one of your laners that much more frightened.
You know, when you look at the stats for Gen G, usually whenever they end up losing a game, Peanut is often set behind early with a lot of deaths. Right now, that Kazakhs is 2-0 and 2 with an Umbral Glaive and the next Serrated Dirk already in inventory. He's feeling great about the way this game's going so far. Flash out from Fudge to avoid another death.
Yeah, Serrated Dirk itself is really efficient, even like half item power spike there with the lethality that you're able to load on. And he uses that vision control to go take away a lot of territory for Cloud9. You see Blabber being very hesitant, retaking their red quadrant that was just invaded.
Chovy gets hit with a little bit there from him and as Blabber waiting over the wall just to make sure nothing more happens. As Berserker immediately popping the cleanse of Pays, fires off the Moonlight Vigil. Wild Growth on top of the Cloud9 80 carry as they continue moving forward. Berserker now with a flash to the side as Delight gets away.
So an all-in from the Cloud9 bot lane. They burn a couple summoner spells, but it's Berserker that loses both his flash and ghost. Pays with a really good trap placement. Means that Berserker put himself in a bit of a precarious position and he was forced to flash away from the hook. No deaths end up falling, but the 2v2 going slightly in favor of Gen G. No objective on the map right now for them to contest, but with the Herald still alive, Peanut does have the option to funnel that gold into bot. And it looks like that is the direction that they're heading.
And Chovy's got a move window here. He pushed in mid-wave and he's coming down river to try and join the rest of Gen G with that Rift Herald. This thing will definitely at least get the expected value of the crash, and they're trying to get even more here with Pays knocking off a preemptive turret plate.
Exactly. Blabber hovering around from Cloud9's side. They know that Gen G has this Herald. They know that they're looking to invest multiple men in making this play into the most that it can be. This does give M&S at least the opportunity to find the second plate on the tier 1 turret back in mid lane. Doran should be able to at least get his Demolish proc, but not enough for the entirety of the 4th plate here in topside. Excellent use of the Bellows Breath just to get out of the way of the charged up Decimating Smash. 30 seconds left on the clock until the plates fall, and Gen G has just been mining money off of them.
Yeah, a lot of Gen G's money is toward the top half of the map, and concentrated gold is what you want towards AD carry, so If they could get some switch here with the recall, they pull up Pays and Delight, swap them over towards the remnants of that top side turret. And turret plates are about to drop, so then the defenses of the towers get a lot weaker for the outer towers.
Some of the problems that C9 are going to have to find ways around as they enter the mid game is sending Syndra off to a side lane is never ideal. She's very vulnerable on these side lanes due to her limited mobility. Of course, the flash is available on M&S. Right now, they are moving her from mid into top as C9 have spotted a potential play. They see Pays and Delight in a position that could force them to overextend given the state of the wave, but they respect that and they will play safe for now.
And look at the wave on bottom side. Fudge, that stop right there for Pays means Fudge is going to lose even more on bottom side. This whole time, Doran is demolishing this turret, and he's going to be able to finish it off. So no response here possible for Cloud9. That is going to be a big, big win for Gen G. With the swap over, Cloud9 have 5 members on the top side. They can't keep their defenses up.
And it's Korean macro, where whenever you enter these mid-game lane assignments, their awareness of where to be on the map is always extremely strong. And this is just a great example of it. While C9 overcommit 5 members to the top side, Gen G find a window and they punish by securing a tower on bot. Now Gen G and now Peanut and Doran are working together to steal what they can.
Now you have to be a little careful because talking about your windows there, Vedis, now you've got 20 seconds before Dragon. So you recall your top side for Gen G. You saw Pays and Delight finishing their channels of the recalls on top side. They don't overstay or greed for that top turret. Gen G know we have control of the entire map. We should not be giving anything.
So smart.
Anything to Cloud9. So they recall, they get back in time for the Dragon. They should effortlessly be able to pick this objective up as well.
So as you can see as well, C9, they're trying to recall, then those recalls even get interrupted, so the potential of a contest completely disappears. Just well executed map play right now from Gen G. 2 Dragons up. The Herald is available, and this is a window where C9 could look to try and contest it, but the problem that they have is that there is little to no vision on that side of the map. Even though C9 committed 5 members up towards top, they didn't actually cross-map for anything, and it still means that Gen G hold all that vision and can still look for a contest around this neutral.
Not only do they hold all the vision, they hold a 4,000 gold advantage. 16 minutes into the game is a serious edge over their opponents. Both AD carries sitting on the Gale Force with the completed Berserker's Greaves. Eclipse now done on the Kha'Zix for Peanut. Blabber a little far forward here in the river, and when they see the enemy jungler, Gen G wastes no time. Blabber's splattered, and that's Gen G getting even more money for their AD carry. They send the rest of Cloud9 running, and just when you thought C9 might have been able to try to contest for a neutral objective, Gen G sit them right back down.
Oh, no, no, no. This Summoner's Rift is ruled by Gen G. They chased them right off this Rift Herald. Blabber immediately deleted.
You have to question the logic there from Blabber, trying to contest the river that he doesn't have any control over, knowing that Peanut has just reset on the map. Like, he also went in alone. They didn't have the push in top. And C9, they tried to enter a space that did not belong to them, and Gen G is a team that will punish you whenever you try to enter a space that does not belong to you.
Yeah, when Gen G have snowballed so effectively here in the early game, off of those kills, off of those first couple of objectives, they're the team running double hooks. So they have full vision control with double hooks ready around every one of these neutral objectives, and even though it's only Rift Herald number 2, they're not going to let you step up to anything because they shouldn't. And this is what you want to look at with this team, Gen G. They're so good at sticking to their game plan. Once they get this lead, they won't allow you to trade objectives on the other side of the map. They want to deny every possible one by getting there first and using that fog of war to full effectiveness.
And look at how Gen G continue to keep the pressure up. They know that they can push this Herald into the next tower. Chovy and Delight walk up as that double hook threat that you were talking about. C9 is going to be forced back. The TP flank comes in from the Scion.
C9 looking like they might have found their one final Hail Mary to stop this, but Blabber's already been engaged on by the entirety of Gen G. Plunges into the back line, but the damage is already poured in, and Cloud9's lost 2 men. They lose the jungle, they lose the AD carry, they lose the top laner, they lose the turret. They've lost everything, and Gen G didn't break a sweat. Fudge's dead body walks around a couple of feet before he falls over, and Gen G turned the war machine towards top.
Gen G just stands strong in the face of Cloud9, knowing that there is a massive wallet gap between the two teams. Cloud9 recognized, hey, there's a great flank window here. Maybe we can get the team fight that we've been looking for. Maybe we can swing this game back in our favor. But as the engage comes through, the target focus is so good. Paze's positioning is clean. He can keep freely hitting onto the front line as Berserker just gets chain CC'd by Doran, allowing Paze to get that execution with the ultimate and then just run down C9.
Meanwhile, bottom side, nice, M&S grabbing a solo kill on Doran. It is a small drop in an ocean that Cloud9 has to swim through to come back. But now M&S has to be careful. Gen.G not going to be able to get one back.
All right, they're on the board. Count it again. That's one for M&S. He's able to at least pick down a straggler. The small opening left there as he takes down Doran. But it doesn't really change the way that Gen.G are going to play this game at all. You've already got 40 seconds here on Baron spawn, and they can easily just replicate what they did before. Switch everybody up to the top side of the map. Cloud9 are trying to jump on that window they just got, though, with the pick from M&S. They overload top side, see if they can get an objective bounty for a bit of extra comeback gold.
The problem for Cloud9 when it comes to securing these outer objectives is there's a window here, but Gen.G are going to quickly push this in and then move into the top side jungle as they catch that wave, and this can set them nicely up for the dragon that's soon to spawn. Notice how they push this bot wave in. Paze is going to move into the bot side jungle, and it's because C9 are moving to the objective rather than getting that mid control first, and it's because they don't have that ability to contest that wave that Gen.G, it's so much easier for them to play around the map. Peanut even threatening a Baron here as Paze will chip away at this bot tier 2.
See Gen.G backing away now as the wave is thinned out. Baron alive on the map. The Drake spawning in under 30 seconds. Both Drakes that have spawned so far have been controlled by Gen.G.
All you have to have is one person to tank the Baron. So if Baron attacks you, then it puts that debuff on you. They want Doran closer to the Baron so that the full DPS from Peanut can come out. But Cloud9 sniffing it out here.
C9 wise to what Gen.G was up to. They are going to stop them from being able to sneak that free Baron very, very early here. 20.5 minutes on the clock, and C9 just feel entirely choked out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it costs Gen.G almost nothing to go for these attempts and just check Cloud9. Hey, are you still awake here? Are you going to come check this? Because they can infinitely take it, basically, with Doran, and they know they have the entire other side of the map fully controlled. Look at that jungle leading up to Dragon. It is fully lit up by control wards. They also have both lanes pushing here, so they easily pick up Dragon number 3.
The beauty of the play was that, as you rightly said, by only committing 2 members to the Baron, it meant that C9 committed 5. They almost overcorrected at the potential steal, which means that guess what? Mid still uncontested. Paze pushes that one in. Bot uncontested. Chovy pushes that one in. So even if C9 wanted to try and take advantage of, oh, you sent your jungler to Baron, we'll cross map for Dragon, they can't do that because they don't have the lane states to be able to find that opportunity.
And guess what? We mentioned the double hook comp here for Gen.G. Well, they're going to get a flash out of M&S first on the side lane.
We'll sidestep.
What you can do with this comp is then turn so much effort towards the back of the Baron area, this red quadrant of the jungle. As long as you clear that out of wards, you have the Ornn ultimate, the Nautilus, plus the Blitzcrank to all look for turns off of Baron. So you just start it up, you look for picks on Cloud9, you don't have to overcommit to anything, and you just fish for extra kills over here. Now you see the resets for Gen.G. As long as they don't get caught here while Chovy and Peanut are heading over to the rest of the area, then they can get right back to their game plan.
Paze back in the base right now. Phantom Dancer completed, has the last Whisper in inventory for some extra armor penetration as well. Once the Jinx arrives up here into the top side, I will fully expect these guys to be looking for another full-on fight. Doran, you can see, just sort of totally fine with this. He doesn't care who he's staring down. He knows he's tanky. He knows they can't engage on him in any sort of meaningful way. Now Delight will be the next one moving up to join this area. Doran's sweeper does reveal a silhouette in the brush, but the recall completes before anything can be done with it. Peanut, again, just getting so much value out of this Umbral Glaive. The vision score discrepancy between junglers, 59 versus 29. Peanut has been owning the vision game, and Gen.G have been owning the map. Now with the Baron down to 5,000, they're going to fire off Doran's ulti to find the knock up there. Back in the pit, Blabber's already down. There will be no steal today. The smite will come down in just a second, and there it is. Gen.G Baron, 23 minutes in.
Look at that control. Teleporting behind M&S, no flash on him.
Gonna try to get away from this one. Peanut's gonna lead the charge as the depth charge seals his fate. Peanut grabs the kill, and Fudge has to flash just to make sure he doesn't go with them. Gen G continuing the push. They've got everybody up here on the top side, and the tier 2 turret evaporates in front of their eyes. They'll continue with these last couple of minions, pushing into the Cloud9 base. Blabber's gonna be back in 2 seconds, but M&S is still dead for another 30. Gen G are not slowing down. Peanut will continue just poking at Cloud9, slowing them down with the rockets as Pays can put the damage into the inhibitor. Delight gonna be just zoning everybody away there. Goes for the hook onto the main tanky target, but it don't even matter. Gen G are so far ahead. There's no meaningful damage from Cloud9. Fudge slowly being worn away here by these auto attacks. Gen G running a little bit low on health bars. Got to be careful about this. They're gonna decide to back it off for now. Discretion is the better part of valor. Gen G will back away, take the red buff and whatever else they might be able to find in the jungle as they leave. Reset and spin that gold.
I mean, it's just flawless execution all across the board from Gen G. They make it look clinical in how they play the map, and M&S, they know that he has no flash. They commit 5 members to the top side with the chain CC. Really, with only 2 members, it's enough to find that execution. They overstack on the top side, knowing that with a small minion wave, they need to keep that push going. They take the tier 3 in top lane, and they'll be happy with that. Now, as they move back out onto the map, they'll likely set up a 4-1 split. You can already see Doran pushing in this mid wave. They'll likely keep him hovering around this lane. He has the TP available, as they then send Chovy and Pays to keep this bot push and slowly start to chip away more at the base, waiting for the dragon to spawn.
And for Cloud9's side, down almost 10,000 gold and 3 dragons. They're just hoping for some opening here for Gen G. For Gen G to get a little bit too overzealous. Problem is, this team is so controlled. You know, they always stick to their game plan. Now they're gonna siege up here with the Baron buff, fish for a few hooks, but honestly, dragon up, and it's a soul in 45 seconds.
Yeah, anything shy of the 80 carry, Gale forcing forwards into 5 people. It's going to be hard for C9 to come back into this one. Another pull from Delight finds Fudge. Normally the Scion's not the target you're looking for, but they're just so far ahead. Wild Growth is forced out. Fudge at half HP. Doran and Peanut switch their aggro back over to the tier 3 in mid lane. They'll bring that one down with the help of the minions. Cloud9 just pulled back and forth, not able to keep all these structures standing.
Yeah, Gen G. Already almost 4.5k that Baron power play as Blabber gets a little bit of damage onto Doran, gets right back to the turret.
All right, call the Forge God, flies out, but it doesn't hit a whole lot of anything. Now you've got Doran here on the front line, gonna be taken very low. He dies, but they get the tier 3 turret there. Cloud9 trading a structure for the enemy top laner. Now Chovy's in the middle of everybody. The Nautilus will be the front line as Pays starts free firing into Fudge. Berserker's coming around from behind, trying to find a little bit more damage as Blabber is zoned away by Peanut back in the mid lane. Chovy just continues frontlining and Page continues firing. It's Fudge next for the guillotine as everybody on Cloud9's heads will roll. Chovy gets the kill on Berserker. Gen G's marching it straight into the Nexus, and Cloud9 have crumbled.
Yep, Chovy's got teleport. He was thinking about recalling, teleporting back in on Nexus turrets, but he's just gonna stick around and do it now.
There's nothing more C9 can do to defend this one. Gen G were too mean, too clean, and they are not messing around. They'll see if they might be able to grab one more kill here. There's the pull. Peanut goes on a rampage, and Gen G goes up 1-0.
Clinical execution.